Hello everyone, welcome back to the new edition of this particular YouTube channel, Analyze with Ade Ayo. Alright, so in today's particular video, I'm going to show you guys what I do before predicting my accurate correct score games. So before I proceed, I would like to tell you guys what correct score truly is. For those people that are new to this particular market, correct score, some people they used to hear it or they used to see it on general Telegram platforms, and whereby some people they usually call it fixed games. Like they will use it as a fixed games for you, and you'll be like, okay, this particular correct score are always accurate. So it depends, but I'm going to explain to you guys what correct score truly is. So what is correct score? Correct score prediction means that you are predicting the exact expected outcome of that particular game. For example, if you have a match between Real Madrid against Manchester City and you are predicting that Manchester City or Real Madrid to win by 2-1, that is, Real Madrid we have 2 and Manchester City we have 1. So that is the meaning of correct score. And if the match ended up as 2-2, then you've lost. So correct score happens to be one of the dangerous markets in sport and in football sport betting. So if you want to engage with this particular market, you need to be very careful, and you also need to play your games mostly as single, because most of these particular games, most of these particular correct score odds, they can give you a very big odds depending on the option that you are going for. And most of these odds are based on probabilities of outcomes, that is the possible outcomes of this particular game. So before you go for correct score games, think very well. All right, so the next thing that I'll be talking about is the first step of predicting your correct score. The first thing that you need to do is that you need to know the leagues that when you predict them, surely there will be high chance of your correct score coming out so well. So when we are talking about the league, this will actually help you and limit your stress regarding to looking for games to predict as correct score. Because when it comes to predicting correct score, I won't lie to you, the best leagues that you can actually go for are leagues that they don't score goals very well. They are low scoring goals league. Are you guys getting it? So in order to save your time from checking games and getting games that you'll be expecting large amount of goals in it, maybe 4-1, 4-2, you don't actually need games like that to predict your correct score accurately. Always go for leagues that you know that they won't really score goals, and you won't expect maybe more than 2 goals or more than 1 goals in that particular game. Now these are the top leagues that are accurate for correct score. In case you want to predict correct score, the top leagues are that you can actually look into for predicting your correct score. So the number 1 league is that you can look into the Argentina league. That happens to be if you check most of the correct score predictions that I've made in most of my Telegram platforms, most of the correct score predictions I made, most of them comes from the Argentina league. So this particular league, one thing that I noticed about them is that it is very easy to get your under 3.5 or under 2.5 goals from it. So it happens to be a league that when you want to predict your games, maybe you happens to be someone that loves to predict maybe straight draw under 1.5, under 2.5, half time under 1.5 goals. This particular Argentina league is a perfect league for you to go for. And another league that you can also look into happens to be the Algeria league. So this particular league also, don't always expect more than 3 goals in this particular league, although there are some fixtures that they can actually end up as over 2.5, over 3.5, depends. But don't worry, you also need to check the stats, because even if you are playing your games, if you are playing your correct score on Argentina leagues, you still need to check the last previous games against other opponents, because there are some games that even though you are predicting under the league that they don't score goals very well, there are some fixtures that can actually lead to many goals. And these are the things that these are the reason why you need to check the head-to-head before predicting your games as correct. So Algeria league, they happens to be one of the leagues that I trust when it comes to predicting under 2.5 or under 3.5 goals. Now the third league that I also like to use for predicting correct score is Morocco League. This particular league also, they can actually give you most of the games that I always predict as under 3.5, because if you want to predict correct score, always go for games that will give you under goals. Are you guys getting it? So Morocco leagues, you can also go for them as for your correct score predictions. And another league that I love to predict my games on is the Kenya League. In fact, this particular league is very sweet for under 2.5 goals and under 3.5 or half time under 1.5. And when it comes to correct score, you will really enjoy them very well. Correct score prediction, maybe home team to win 1-0 or away team to win 1-0, or predicting straight draw, you will really enjoy the Kenya League games. So number 5 on the list happens to be Egypt League. So, but you just need to be careful when it comes to Egypt League, because sometimes when it comes to predicting their goals, predicting their correct score, they are not really consistent. But this happens to be a low scoring league, Egypt League. You will really enjoy them too if you want to be predicting your correct score on them. So if you are looking for a league that you want to predict your game as a straight draw, under 3.5, under 4.5 correct score, Egypt League happens to be one of the best league for that. Alright, so this happens to be the 5 best or top accurate league for correct score. So number 1, as I mentioned earlier, Argentina League. Number 2, Algeria League. Number 3, Morocco League. Number 4, Kenya League. And number 5, Egypt League. So these 5 leagues are leagues that you can look into for your correct score prediction. And sorry, another bonus league for you, South Africa League. This particular league today, a low scoring league, you will really enjoy your correct score with them. So if you want to be predicting correct score, or you want to use correct score to predict another market, maybe like, because for me, I do use correct score to predict double chance sometimes, or to guess, to know the outcome of a game, that okay, who will actually win this particular game. That is if I don't want to use the proper straight winning or double chance strategy. If it is that I'm using correct score method to predict my games, then I use this particular correct score for predicting double chance. So these leagues happen to be the best leagues that you can actually go for, and this will actually save your time. It will save your time. All right, now, so before I proceed to the next chapter, in case if you want to join our Telegram platform, you are going to find the Telegram link in the comment section. And also, if you want to join our private circle groups, you are going to find the link in the comment section and also in the video description. Now, the next thing that you need to do is that you need to have good correct score site. This will really help you and guide you when it comes to predicting your correct score. And if you want your correct score to look like a fixed game, because that's what many people used to get deceived with this particular correct score, because sometimes when they give you correct score and you play it and it came out so well, exactly the way it was predicted, and you'll be like, wow, this must have been a fixed game. Because for you to predict correct score is like you already have a meeting. Maybe you had a meeting with the players, the managers from both team, both home and away, and then you already instructed the players that this is what you are meant to play, this is the result I want. So correct score is a very tricky market and dangerous market. So for you to be predicting correct score accurately, to be sincere, it requires great knowledge and luck. Are you guys getting it? So what we are just currently doing is that I'm currently giving you guys a chance of getting your correct score accurately, and you can also apply this particular correct score for other markets. Now, having a good correct score site, you need a site that you can also use to confirm if your prediction is right. Don't forget that I told you guys that I listed some leagues for you earlier, that this happens to be the top leagues that you can use for your correct score. So if you have a site, for me, I don't usually stress myself looking for football prediction sites, because I use manual analysis most times, and I use a prediction app to generate games most times, and after generating games, I always apply my own manual strategy, manual analysis mostly. So checking games on site is not most of my things, except if I want to predict correct score. And when it comes to predicting correct score, this happens to be the only site that I do use. If I'm not using this, I do use predict.com, because that happens to be the site I used when I started betting. So my bet today happens to be my most reliable prediction site when it comes to predicting correct score. And what I always look into, from what I always get or extract from this particular site, happens to be the correct score market. So the thing that you are going to do with this particular site, so don't forget, you need to have a good correct score site that you are going to use to guide yourself. Now this happens to be my own recommended prediction site. You can have your own site anyhow. So the next thing that is the real deal behind getting accurate correct score. So what are the real deals? What are the real things when it comes to predicting correct score? You need to look for, when you have your correct score prediction site, the only thing that you need to look into is games that the site is predicting as maybe probably 0-0 or 1-0. Low scoring games. Whenever you want to predict correct score, don't go for games that you'll be expecting so many goals in it. Low scoring games. Now I have this particular site with many options: double chance, full time, corners, handicap, and what I want is actually correct score, and I'm going to click on it. And I noticed that of recent we don't really have games under the Argentina leagues and the Egypt Premier League. I think currently they are playing cups, and in this particular cup, if you go and check their previous games, they are scoring goals like damn. Like seriously, they are really scoring goals. So avoid Egypt cup, anything tournament safe, in short, anything like cup, tournament, Champions League, avoid it when it comes to correct score. So what you just need to do is that look into this particular five leagues, and with additional leagues that I mentioned, the South Africa League. If you can check it and you are able to get games that the bookmaker, this particular site, is actually predicting as maybe 0-0 or 1-0. For example, we have a game under this championship, but I don't like predicting my correct score on championship or predicting goals, because this particular correct score, you can actually use it to predict over and under goals, So for now, the market is not looking good when it comes to predicting correct score. So if you want to predict your correct score, calm, chill until you have games under the Argentina Premier League games, or their major leagues, or some of their sub-league games. Now, Algeria League, Major League, Morocco Major League, Kenya Premier League, and Egypt Premier League. So when you have games on that, these are the things that you only need to look into. Look at the score predicted by this particular site, and if you are able to get maybe 1-0 or 0-0, then you can go for it. But when you are having maybe games that they are predicting them as 3-0, 4-0 or more, seriously, always run away from that kind of a game. I guess getting it. All right, now, so the next thing that I want you guys to look into, after getting the games that you want to predict as correct score, so let's assume that I think I have a game under the Brazilian League. Sometimes, although the Brazilian League are not reliable when it comes to predicting correct score, but I just want to make use of it as an example. So let me check correct score. Brazilian League, they can score goals, they can do anything. Sometimes they score goals, sometimes they don't score goals, so they are not consistent with when it comes to goal scoring. All right, so there's a game under the Brazil Cup, and don't forget, I told you guys not to go for cup, so I'm only using this as an example. All right, so we have this particular game under the Brazil League, as you guys are seeing it. Currently, the bookmakers are predicting it as the home team, which happens to be Cruzeiro, to win this particular game by 1-0. I guess guessing. So let us just assume that we have something like this from the listed leagues that I gave you guys earlier. Now, what you just need to do next now is that you need to make use of the Bookies odd and align it with your own findings. So what you just need to do for me here is that you are going to check the odd line provided by the bookmakers for the market of this particular correct score, predicting home team, the Cruzeiro team, to win by 1-0. If this particular odd falls around maybe 5 points, below, maybe 5.5, 5.4, 5.0 odd, or 4 points. That is the most sweetest part. If you are getting 4 odd for a particular correct score, most especially under this particular low scoring league games, that particular there is 95% chance that that particular game will end up the way you predict it. I've done so many correct score games before. So for you to know that this particular correct score of a thing is not something that I'm actually new to, I've done so many research on it and I've tried it so many times, and I've observed the odd and how most of these particular things work out. And this particular process that I shared with you guys happens to be one of my special strategy, because correct score is not something that you should always be expecting 100% from, but at least to some extent this will really help you when it comes to predicting normal games. So for example, if you look at this particular thing, this is the reason why I said that there are so many ways that you can actually make use of correct score with other markets. For example, the double chance. For example, I predicted this particular first games, and don't forget what I told you. If you can get your odd line, that is maybe the odd line is around 5 odd, 5.0 odd, 5.5 odd, and maybe 4.0 odd, 4.8 odd, 4.5 odds. That especially 4 point odd, when the bookmakers are allocating 4 point odd to a particular correct score given, a correct score odd line, just note that that particular game, that particular market, that particular correct score has a very high chance of coming out so well. So this particular correct score, sometimes I do use it for predicting double chance. And what I have here, I predicted this particular games as 1-0 at odd of 4.82 odd, and the game came out so well. And I predicted this particular games as 2-0, that is the home team to win this particular game. I think this particular league is under the Algeria league, and the same thing as this one. Don't forget, I listed some leagues for you that you guys can actually go for when it comes to predicting correct score. Please take note of that. Now this particular game ended up as 4-2, completely out of what I predicted. And although the game ended up as a home team winning, because I predicted the home team to actually win the game. And another thing that I have here is actually like predicting straight draw, because I observed that the strength of these two teams seems to be very, very similar to each other, and the game actually ended up as 1-1 at odd of 6 points, 1-1 odd. And the game that I have here, I have another game here, MSP Batna versus AS Group. I actually predicted the game as 1-1, but the game ended up as the home team. Okay, sorry, I predicted the game as home team to actually win the game. That is 1-0. Home team to win the game. But the game ended up as 1-1. So that's why I said that correct score is not only for correct score, you can actually use it for some other markets. And what I noticed is that some people, if they are able to get the accuracy of games strategies like this, they usually tell people that it is fixed game. What I'm actually explaining to you guys is not fixed. So if you want to engage with it, make sure that you bet responsibly. So this is another 4,000 odds correct score slips I made, I think, in October. And this particular correct score games made me to understand that there are some odds that the bookmakers will provide for you that will actually validate your predictions. For example, this particular game, the current odd that the bookmakers allocated to it that time happens to be 4.75 odd. I predicted the game to end up as the home team to actually win the game by 1-0, and the game ended exactly as predicted. And this is the reason why I say that when it comes to correct score prediction, you can actually use it for predicting double chance. You will really enjoy it for double chance. I did mean that I predicted the away team here, which I predicted to play 1-1. The game would have ended up as, maybe the away team to win or draw. And we have another one here that I predicted to end up as a 0-0 at odd of 5.23, but unfortunately the game ended up as the home team winning this game. And if you guys checked out the odd very well, you are going to see that the odd line, check the previous games I predicted also, the odd line, the odd that bookmakers are currently allocating to the games is very, very important. So take note of that. So like that and like that. So we have another one here, 4.61 odd for the game to end up as home team to win by 1-0. But unfortunately, This is a South African league. The game actually ended up as 2-1. That is the home team winning the game. So if you want to predict correct score, please, you will seriously enjoy it when it comes to using it for double chance. And if you want to go for correct score, make sure that you play your games as single. So for the game that I showed you guys earlier, Cruzeiro against Corinthians under the Brazilian Cup, let's assume that I want to predict these particular games for correct score. I'll just go down here, check the smallest odd that the bookmakers are allocating to a particular market that is aligning with the market I want to go for. Now I want to go for 1-0, just like the site I checked suggested, and currently the smallest odd that I have here happens to be 4.70 odd for the home team to actually win by 1-0. And if I want to go for the correct score, this happens to be the option that I will go for. And if I want to go for double chance, I will just go for the home team to win or draw. But don't forget my instruction. If you want to use your correct score strategy, don't use it on cup or tournament games. Are you guys getting it? Always use it on leagues, and most times take note of the leagues that I listed for you guys: Argentina leagues, Algeria leagues, Morocco leagues, Kenya leagues, Egypt league, and sometimes South Africa leagues. Alright, so thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video, whereby I'll be talking about goalkeeper save strategy. We have two strategies under this particular market options: who to win the saves and over or under total saves. So we are going to discuss about this particular strategy in the next video. So if you have any question regarding to this particular strategy, please kindly make sure that you drop it in the comment section. Bye bye.